Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So we have a new round of Transcendent forms on us, so let's have a look. And then we'll look at Sanada first. Compared to Ryoma, she's sort of a more kind of a go-anywhere character, whereas Ryoma is more of a specialist. Alright, so let's look at her stats. She is a speed type, so she has crazy speed, especially considering she's a bounce character. Very few bounce characters have speed this high. I'm thinking of like Susanoo and that kind of level. Her HP is actually a tank status, which is also unusual for a speed type. And then attack is so-so at about like, 21, 22,000. And then if we look at her abilities, she's got Null Gravity Barrier. That's her single null ability. And some people might think that this is very limiting for her to have only the single null ability. But actually she's recommended for a lot of quests with like damage walls, warps, and even mines sometimes. And the reason for that is because of her Counter Slayer. She is only the second character to have this after Striker. And then what that does is that whenever the last enemy that hits her, the last enemy that she takes damage from, she will gain the Slayer for that enemy. So if a deity type boss hits her, the next turn she will have Deity Slayer. And then that will really raise her attack, almost to like 40,000 with the gauge. So since she's a pretty reliable source of damage in any element, that's why she's really recommended for so many different quests, despite only having the one null ability. And then on top of that, she has the luck skill critical. And so that combined with her very high speed means she's going to get critical hits pretty often, so that's even more damage. Next is her strike shot. This is a new strike shot, I believe, where she does extra damage against guys with a gravity barrier around them. And then that has a new effect as well. It looks different from the Counter Slayer, so we can see when we're doing the Slayer damage or the gravity barrier damage or both. And then this charges up very quickly as well, so you can use it pretty freely. Alright, and then next we'll look at the bump combo. She's got the rebound spread struction, and I think this is new as well. And yeah, kind of spread shots, they don't get a lot of attention. But this one's kind of pretty great, because it's actually very similar to Avalon's Rewind Blaster, which is very strong. They have the same damage per unit, about 4,500, and then they kind of act the same way too. They shoot out from the character, they hit the wall, and then they come back. The big difference between the Rewind Blaster and then this one is that the Rewind Blaster has 64 shots going out, and this one has only 48. But still, that's really good, I think. Definitely maybe one of the best spread shots. And then her other bump combo is the mini spread, which is one of my favorite. And this one's at full power. And I think she's only the second character after Snowbow Ascension with a full power mini spread shot. So that's about 4,000 damage per shot in that very small space. So that can do good damage if she's close to an enemy. And it's a light element as well, so she can do good damage on dark types. And then actually this bump combo, the first bump combo, kind of makes me sad, because it just reminds me about how bad Ashida's bump combo is. Each shot that Ashida does is like less than half of this power here. If they could change one thing, go back and change one thing about Monster Strike, I would ask them to give Ashida a better bump combo. But oh well. Alrighty, and then let's see. For quests that she's good for, of course you want to bring her to any quest with gravity barriers. If we're looking at Impossibles, she's good for a ton of those. There is Izanami, and then Kushinada, and Tsukuyomi, of course, in the first wave. In the second wave of Impossibles, she can go to Tsukuyomi 0, which we'll see later. And then she'll be good for a couple of the Colossal quests as well. There's the Wood one coming out for Shambhala, and then the Dark one for Yomi. She'll be really good for those two. And then the third wave of the fourth wave of impossible monsters, the anime impossible monster. She'll be good for 3 of the 5 there. So yeah, she's going to be very useful for a very long time. And then as for Ableberry is good for her. I would really like to give her the kin strength so that she can get more use out of the counter slayer. I think sidekick could be good. She would be a good candidate for that. And then she's really fast, so knockout would be good. She gets lots of hits in. And then what else would be good? Almost anything. She's just really solid overall. Okay, so yeah, we'll take her to a quest. And then I'll bring her to a quest with 2 gimmicks, just to see how useful she is in a place where she can't handle that other gimmick. And then that will be for Princess Noko. And then there are gravity barriers and warps here. And there are also scorpions, so her bump combos will be really good for that. Okay, I guess I can talk real quick about the other monsters that I'm using. First I'm bringing Bishamonten. She covers both the gimmicks with no gravity barrier, no warp. And then she's got one of my other favorite bump combos, the Dunk Laser, so we'll watch that in action. Next I'm using Izanami. She's another no gravity barrier, no warp. And then I'm also using Ryubi Ascension, another no gravity barrier, no warp. And then he also has a good bump combo for the scorpions. Alright, so here's the scorpion here. And then, yeah, Sanada does not have the no warp, so we'll have to kind of work around that. Alright, pretty good there. And yeah, I do have a soft spot for Sanada, because she was the first Hatcher monster I ever had on my sub-device. And then, yeah, this is a long time ago. This was before even Izanagi came out. And I did the reset marathon where you install and uninstall the game until you get the character that you want. And then once I got Sanada on my sub, I was happy with that, so I stuck with that. And there we saw pretty good damage from the bump combo into the boss's weak point. And then here we'll see if she has the counter slayer. No. So there's some other character, maybe the guys at the bottom. But yeah, I did the reset marathon and ended up on Sanada, and I was very happy about that. And she was strong for a very long time, but I haven't used her in a while. But I think now I'll be using her a lot again. Okay, pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to be kind of hitting or kind of placing all of my shots so that I can get the most use out of Sanada's bump combo. And then there we saw the bump combo take out that scorpion in there, so that was pretty good. Okay, so I guess there she took the damage from the Sphinx guy. He might be a Vivalith, so she picked up the Vivalith Slayer there. Okay, pretty good. Alright, at the boss already. When I come to the boss stages, I would like to take out the boss first and then everybody else afterwards. So if I can start each stage with my characters near the boss, that'll really help me out. Okay, and then I think here we will use Sanada Strike Shot. It's the first tier. And then we'll see how much damage we do on Noko with the gravity barrier around her. Okay, well, kind of had a weird bound. But we could see that there were the 2 separate effects. One for the Slayer, the counter Slayer with the red X, and then the one with the gravity barrier, where the gravity barrier kind of turned dark every time she hit. So that's like a double slayer, so that's like super damage on the boss there. And yeah, later on we'll see that bump or that strike shot again, so we'll see its maybe its full potential later. All right, but we took down the boss, and then we can continue on with the rest of the characters. And then, yeah, we do have the Tower of Champions coming back pretty soon, I think. And then Sanada will be good for a few of the missions on there. She might be really good for floor 23 of the tower, since all of the enemies in there are deity types. So if she gets hit by anybody, she'll gain Slayer for everybody. And then she would also have the element advantage. She could also be good for floor 24. She could take care of the scorpions, and then get the counter slayer, of course, and then do the gravity barrier slayer as well. And then 28, actually. She doesn't have Minesweeper, but she would do so much damage in there that she could be worth using there. Okay, so second boss stage. She's on the left side of it, of the stage. So thankfully all of my guys are on the left side, so it should be pretty easy to take her out. Okay, let's have a look at this bump combo here. Alright, not too shabby. Alright, and then on the last stage of Nokko, she'll appear at the bottom of the screen. So if I can get my guys at the bottom of the screen, that would be good. Here I saw that my HP was a little bit low, and that all of my guys were sort of in the firing area for the white Smydras. So I went ahead and took them down with Ryubi's command strike shot. And then here we'll use the Sanada strike shot again. Hopefully we'll get underneath the boss. Nice. Oh, critical. Alright, pretty good. So 1.5 million damage, and then that is with the first tier. We didn't actually get to see the second tier, so pretty darn strong. Alright, and then this should do it. Okay. Alright, so that was Sanada. And she is pretty great. One thing I didn't mention is that she has no gravity barrier passive in her. So when she's doing the command strike shot, she can move through gravity barriers just fine. But yeah, Sanada's pretty strong. If you got her, enjoy her. Alright, thanks for watching. Take care.